Hey everyone, welcome to another Pioneer video here on Magic Arena. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and there's a link to my Ko-fi account in the description, so if you're able to support the channel that way it is greatly appreciated. So today we are running some Selesnya Company. So this is the last in our trio of decks which are trying out the new Lightstall Inquisitor, which is the 2/1 Angel from Edge of Eternities that disrupts the opponent's hand a little. So we previously played this in blue-white taxes, death and taxes, and then we tried it in self-bounce, and now we are trying it in the Selesnya Company deck as the third and final of those decks to try it out in. So this deck already has kind of a few prisony elements with things like Aven Interrupter, Archon of Emeria. It's kind of doing that kind of thing. But Lightstall Inquisitor just gives us another cheap early play to be able to disrupt the opponent. And this deck kind of relies on just tempoing out the opponent. Like all company decks, we've got a wealth of powerful 3-drops, which if we company into them, particularly at instant speed, gives us a huge amount of advantage. An Aven Interrupter to disrupt the opponent's spell, Werefox Bodyguard, Skyclave Apparition to clear the board, Knight of Autumn doing a similar kind of thing, Enduring Innocence to draw more cards. There's just a lot of good 3-drops, primarily in white, that allow us to just tempo out the opponent from the game. So yeah, it's a fairly self-explanatory deck, like all company decks. We trimmed a little on the Mystics just to make room, the Llanowar Elves and Mystics just to make room for the Inquisitor. Kellen's still here, which is also a one drop, can be as well. And then company as well. In terms of the mana base, pretty self-explanatory, relying primarily on white, obviously, this being a primarily white deck, but a fair number of dual lands just to make sure we hit both of our colours. Restless Prairie is good in any deck which is trying to go wide, just giving all of other creatures +1/+1 when it attacks. Obviously, it being tapped on turn 1 can occasionally be quite awkward, so we do have to play our lands quite carefully. The Hushwood Verge being a green land base can potentially be a problem. It has been a problem, I think, with decks like this in the past, so that is worth paying attention to, that you do, if you've got a handful of these at the start of the game, could potentially cause you some problems. And then a bit of a toolbox sideboard, which can just get whatever we need from, depending on what the opponent is playing. So Voice of Victory, obviously very good at shutting down control decks, and decks which are trying to cast things on your turn. A couple more Archon of Emerias for those decks which are trying to cast lots of spells. Haven Mind Sensor, shut down the opponent getting to search their library. Clarion Conqueror is a sniper for all kinds of things, artifacts, creatures, planeswalkers with difficult activated abilities. Obviously it snipes all planeswalkers, VV, one elite spellbinder, just a bit more hand disruption, and then a Hylia guided by light as well, which is a good life gain spell as well by warp. You know what? I don't actually want this in here. I don't think this fits the theme of the deck. Having looked at the deck list again, I am going to get some. What's that green 3-drop called that exiles from the graveyard? It's Tranquil Thrillback, isn't it? I'm going to go and get 3 copies of that. Put that in instead. There you are. Look, it's deck construction in real time. I much prefer that, as this currently did not have any graveyard hate in the sideboard. There you are. See, I'm reconstructing the deck even as we speak. See how the sausage is made. Right, well, that's the new version of the deck. So thank you very much for watching. Let's take it on to the ladder. He's a heck of an avatar, this Menon character. He's just all over the place. Yeah, this is a pretty good opening hand, I think. Obviously, we'll need a third land. Ooh, the opponent mulliganing to 5 makes this Lightstall Inquisitor feel a lot more spicy. Okay, the opponent's on potentially Convoke, maybe humans. I think that's a good 1-drop anyway. Yeah, make their portable hole more expensive. Okie dokie. Knight of Autumn's pretty decent. Yeah, so I'll send in the Inquisitor, followed up with Kellen. Kellen's good card draw. Or pseudo card draw. Okay, that'll be their second land they've got there then. So, well, let's attack and see what happens. Do I want to put that in my graveyard? I don't think so. I want another land. I think let's just get rid of the Warden before it starts flying. Could have potentially played Innocence there. Played it a little more riskily. Ooh. Okay, so they're doing some life gain things. And they'll get a card off that, so that's pretty neat. Yeah, no, I do like myself a Hylia. I think I'll attack with all. Yeah, Archon's a good one to draw. Nope, okay, they're off it. Yeah, they struggled a bit there. They had to mulligan to 5. Okay, so the opponent's on mono-white life gain sort of with humans going on there. Yeah, I don't mind Archon of Emeria. I like it more than I like Knight of Autumn, I think. Clarion Conqueror, I suppose, shuts down. Shuts down their clue tokens. It shuts down Warden. Yeah, that's probably worth doing then. So let's put those in. What am I taking out, though, I suppose, is the question. Maybe Bodyguard? None of their stuff is that high impact. Yeah, I could be convinced either way. I think Flyers are good here. This hand's quite slow. But then it's got some good stuff in it. Yeah, we're here to try. Yeah, I was saying the Restless Prairies are good, but they do have a downside for sure. Hopefully the Inquisitors will slow them down enough that they can't just whack us in the face too quickly. Like pass here to draw with clue would be pretty good, I think. Cool. Okay, well let's get our first Lightstall Inquisitor down. The Lumen class frigate, that's cool. Okay. Yeah, Containment Priest is a good one. Okay, kind of want my Knight of Autumn's back now. So what's this? 12 to turn on. Okay, so that's not happening for a while. Yeah, I might just Clarion here, to be honest. It shuts down their clue token. Stops them from stationing. Okay. Well, it was worth a try. But if they've used Hardlight Containment on that, they're not going to use it on something else at least. Okay, the opponent's going off a little bit here. I like it, I like it. But I do have Beseiju for this if I need it. So I think let's do some light stalling. Get Archon into play. Hopefully we'll at least slow them down a little. Ooh, and a Cosmogrand. Okay, well I'm glad we did that. Because Cosmogrand is a lot less good when I have Archon in play. But their creatures are big and they are annoying. So yeah, I think I'll take the damage here. So I'll just drop a Kellen into play. I'll just hold up Beseiju. Maybe I can trap them with their attacks a little here. Okay. Fine. Well, we know they're not drawing any more spells, so let's playing any more spells. So let's blow up the Lumen class frigate. So that makes Cosmogrand a 2/4. So I think it's probably worth double blocking. They get to eat one of my Inquisitors, but it gets Cosmogrand off the battlefield. Okay, let's play. Let's play Kellen Yeah, let's play Kellen number 2. Good thing is they don't really have an incentive to sack that clue because it gets me my Conqueror back. Ish. Okay, okay. That's not a good time. Okay. I'm gonna have to double block, unfortunately. Get that out of the way. Yeah, it's not looking great. Okay, well that's something. So yeah, maybe we can ambush them a bit here with a Coco. Yep, play your Thraben now. Good, good, good. Don't play anything. We like it when the opponent plays stuff pre-combat. We don't like it when they scry to the top. Go for it. Okay, let's fire off our collected company. Find hopefully something that can eat the... Oof, that's not good. Oh god, it doesn't work. They've got Containment Priest. That's slightly awkward, isn't it? Okay. Well, we'll just forget about that. Okay, okay. So, I think Tranquil Thrillback, Knight of Autumn can both go back in. I'm less fussed about Inquisitor on the play. Trim. 1. What else have I got? Voice of Victory. Nothing hugely there that's leaping out at me. Maybe I just want 2 thrillbacks. Let's not overdo it on the removal. And let's remember that they have a containment priest. Because that won't work otherwise. I wouldn't have won, I don't think, with that company draw. Ooh, this one's a bit slow. It's potentially pretty good, but I think this is a mulligan, unfortunately. Yeah, this is better. Okay, fine. Whew. Close. I like what the opponent was doing there. Spotlighting some new cards. Yeah, that hard light containment we weren't getting rid of anytime soon. Yeah, it's got a company. It's got 2 companies. Let's send Kellen on an adventure, then at least we know we have a creature of some kind. Ooh, Deep Cavern Bat. That's fun. Lightstall Inquisitors. An okay draw. So what's this? Kaito things? Just like the standard. Okay, maybe let... it's got Rafine. Nobody likes Rafine. Everybody hates Rafine. Okay, Esper Legends it is. More land, you say? Why, thank you. But even more land. Okay, well, maybe Kellen can draw us a creature. There we are. That's nice. Fine. I'll play another Razor Verge, just because otherwise it'll come into play tapped. Although one of these lands is going to come into play tapped anyway, so just play. Hopefully slow them down a smidge here. I see. I don't love that. And you're not playing Kaito, is what you're telling me. Could you be any more suspicious? Okay. Well, I think this is probably a main phase company, just to try and clear the board a little. So I could, yeah, double Apparition, get rid of 1 Confidant and the Deep Cavern Bat. It's pretty much where we want to be right now. Put the other company back in our hand. Attack. Put that in the graveyard. Thank you kindly. Really? Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't think so. Yes, take a damage. Sucks to be you. Ooh, Aggie. I think this is worth a double block. Get the Confidant off the battlefield, if possible. Yep. They get a 2-2, which is fairly meh. Well, I've had enough card filtering to last several lifetimes. Okay, okay. Well, let's see what Kellen can do for us. No, I will have that, thank you. Now, am I just going to try and cast Company again, or should I Bodyguard and get rid of Fiend? I kind of cut... Yeah, Skrelv being here is quite annoying, to be honest. I think I kind of need to... Yeah, and... Companying now means I lose my other company, which I'm not thrilled about. I'll just play a Mystic. I think that's fine. Then at least whatever happens, Rafine isn't attacking. Or they'll just play another one. Why not, indeed? Yeah, if they want to use that proactively, that's kind of fine by me, I think. Really not convinced by this move of putting Kaito in exile. So much worse when you can't ninjutsu it. I'm just sheltered by ghosts, okay. I'm not convinced by that play, to be honest. Because it potentially just gives me another go with the Skyclave. So let's play an untapped land. Company again. Even Interrupter's not very good. Well, I could go in the bin. Yep, fine. Yeah, thanks, auto damage thing. That's not crazy at all. Okay, they get the best one of whatever those 3 cards are. Plus, they still have Kaito to play. Ugh. Okay, let's take this out. Get the Innocence back. Doing a decent job of keeping their board under control. I think it's playing Kaito here is that it's... Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, playing Kaito like that leaves it immediately vulnerable, so I can see that. Okay, Knight of Autumn lets me destroy Skrelv, so that seems pretty decent. So yeah, let's start with that, maybe. Let's get rid of your man here. Kellen, is Kellen any good, or am I just companying again? I think we're companying again here. I needed to play a land first there, didn't I? Okay. Well, let's get rid of Thalia. Yeah, if I wanted to do... because this has Ward 2. Well, actually, no, it wouldn't have made any difference because this has Ward 2 and Ward 1. Because, of course, it does. I mean, they are now down to at least just Rafine, so... And this Prairie is now threatening a lot of damage. Like, if they just play Kaito here, this... Okay, Deep Cavern back is annoying on some level. So, if I fire up the Prairie, it becomes 3, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15, 18, plus 3, 6, 8, 10, 12. I think that's lethal. Then we'll stick a map on the Night of Autumn. Yep, just about. Okay, that was a grind. So the opponent's on Esper Legends. I don't like any of what they were doing there. Clarion Conqueror shuts down Kaito, at least. At least the Planeswalker part of him, which I think is good. Doesn't really deal with Rafine, although I don't really have anything that deals with Rafine, so... Yeah, I'll put in Spellbinder as well. Let's take out Archon of Emeria. This is just creatures, isn't it? Doesn't hit Kaito. We did okay there. What about Night of Autumn? No, not fussed. Yeah. Yeah, this is slightly awkward in terms of mana, but I think it's a good enough hand that it's keepable. If this was a not tap land, that would obviously be amazing, but I don't want to rag on the Restless Prairie too much. He did good work in that last game. Okay, now I'm going to rag on you because there's two of you and I don't like seeing two of you. So this is probably going to die, but I think that's fine. No? Okay. Really? Really, really, really? Hmm. In which case, I'm as patient as you are, because I have an Aven Interrupter. Marvellous. Now that I know that he's coming... Well, Kaito by himself is not actually that interesting, so maybe I just want a Spellbinder this turn. So I can deal with him. Well, Clarion Conqueror just shuts him down completely, doesn't it? So yeah, go on, let's play the Clarion Conqueror. Yeah, so they could remove the Conqueror, play Kaito, but... Okay, Deep Cavern Bat's fine. Interesting. Okay. Suppose they don't have any form of counter spell or anything. But let's draw a card. Kellen's not bad. Oh no! I'll take my punishment. Now, mass removal and then Kaito would be a bit of a problem here. Yeah, I can't remember whether this deck... Apparently they didn't have any. Oh god, these pathways. Because I can't play the land, play the elf, and then... I mean, this is quite a bad hand anyway, so I think it's a mulligan, but yeah, they... Okay, just another pathway, sure. Okay, I'll go to 5. Slightly better. So let's put back Interrupter and land. See how we go. Kind of relying on Company to get us out of this. So they've got Monstrous Rage, haven't they? Which makes this too big to be blocked. But then if I don't block it now, when am I ever blocking it? Yeah, go on. Boom! Call your bluff. I mean, it may be far too late, but, you know. Take some damage in the meantime. Oh, that's awkward. Bum. Can I survive another turn? If I play Mystic long enough to play Company, I think I kind of got to, haven't I? Just hope that Company can catch us back up. I mean, this was always going to be pretty rough. We mulliganed to 5 against Mice. Yep. And they've got a Monstrous Rage as well. Am I dead? I'm very nearly dead, aren't I? I'm on 1. 1 doesn't feel great. One feels terrible. Yeah, no, I'm super dead. God, that was a rough first game. Never mind. So I want Archon. I think I want Frill back just for the life gain. Maybe a couple of copies of Frill back for the life gain. Inquisitor can come out. I think that's fine. feel like this might be a slightly rough matchup. I'm not sure. Well, the opponent's... okay, well that's good. The opponent's certainly not struggling with their openers. Absolutely not. Okay, fine. That's 5. Okay, well they're stuck on land, which is good, so let's send Kellen in. More Kellens. I think... yeah, I'll just pass the turn with Bodyguard. Your mouse does not frighten me. That could go in the bin. Yeah, I think we'll just keep wiping their board. And we got company next turn. Yeah, didn't think they'd stick around too long after that. Okay. So let's put Lightstall Inquisitor back in. Take out Archon of Emeria? Question mark? So, no, let's take out even Interrupter, I think. I see. It's going to be like that, is it? Oh my god, that's an awful hand. He says, keeping it. I'm not going to 5 again. I'm not tolerating this kind of behaviour. Well, that's good. Let's hope we draw a land. I can't believe I'm expected to put up with this nonsense. Well, this is not going to be a very interesting game, I don't think. And a Manifold Mouse as well. That's a lucky hit. Okay. Yeah, that's a shame. But yeah, just two pretty appalling opening hands in those two games. Apart from that, I feel like we were doing okay. But yeah, that 6 was a risk, I think, worth taking, just because otherwise I'd have just got too bored. Yeah, never mind. Let's have a look at what we've pulled out of these packs. Yeah, Tezzeret. I'm going to have to try this at some point. There must be something it can do. Yeah, just whether we have the density of artifacts. Maybe with that 3/3 with warp that makes a drone every time we cast an artifact. Maybe there's something there, I don't know. Oh, it's mythic. It's a mythic bonanza today. And then Duskborn is also here, which is also a mythic. My goodness, we're on fire. Okay. So yeah, no, pretty good on the whole, I think. Yeah, that last match notwithstanding, which was just bad luck. But yeah, I think Lightstall Inquisitor is a fine addition to the deck. It's still doing good things. It's kind of in a shell, we know. Has some game to it, which I think helps. But yeah, no, all of the pieces are still pretty good. Collector Company remains a hell of a card, unless you play it when the opponent has a Containment Priest, but don't be like me. Yeah, no, I think on the whole, pretty good. Pretty good addition. It's a good, yeah, this is a good card. I wasn't sure about it, to be honest, when it first was spoiled, because, yeah, the effect seems marginal, but I think in a lot of games that's enough. And actually, the 2-1 it leaves behind is kind of doing its own thing as well. Like, I'm surprised often when I play this, by slowing them down, they kind of stumble for a turn, and you kind of sometimes get 4 or 6 damage out of this at the same time. It's pretty good. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, there's the deck list one more time. It's in the description as usual, so thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comments, of course. And yeah, contribute to the coffee account if you can. I do appreciate it, and I will see you next time.